Hi, everybody. Brian Roth, voice of the Rams, and welcome to another edition of Ram Country Conversations. Talking Colorado State volleyball on the program today with middle blocker Sasha Colombo, the junior out of Milan, Italy. And Sasha, great to see you. Look, the past 6+ months have been crazy for everybody. I know you went back to Italy back in March when the pandemic hit, and then tried to get back out here in the summer when a lot of the fall athletes were reconvening in Fort Collins, but boy, you had to jump through a few hoops. Kind of take us through some of the trials and tribulations.
Absolutely. It was really hard for me to come back to the US mid-June when I was supposed to report back for the volleyball team. There were a lot of restrictions in place because of international travel and the pandemic, and the borders to the US were closed to Italian people. And since I was living in Italy, I had to try and find a way to get back to the US as soon as possible, as I did miss my second family here and just Fort Collins in general. So I ended up going to Turkey for 2 weeks and quarantining there just so I could eventually come back to the US. And this was at the end of July.
So you were in Italy, had to go to Turkey for a 14-day quarantine before you could get back to the United States. Wild, wild stuff. I'm curious, in the pandemic, you're in Italy. How does a volleyball player stay in shape, but also keep your skills sharp with a lot of the gymnasiums just flat out not open?
It was definitely a challenge, as in Italy we were in a 3-month lockdown, so very strict. I couldn't leave my house, so obviously couldn't go to the gym for strength and conditioning, couldn't really go to a volleyball gym and have a 6-on-6. So I think it was a time where we all got creative at home, and I was recruiting my family members to try and play a little volleyball. My younger brother was definitely helpful with that. And then we found a board, like a wooden board, and it's like an incline, and we put it against the garage outside, and I would just hit at it and the ball would come back to me. And that's kind of how I kept my shoulder going, as I knew I had to keep my shoulder movements and just that precision that if you stop playing volleyball, you kind of lose over time.
Right. What was your reaction when the Mountain West Conference came out about a month ago and announced that fall sports were going to be canceled or at least postponed and pushed back? I know there had to have been a lot of emotion that came with that announcement.
Initially, I think I was half expecting that statement, as I thought that for health reasons, it would be the right choice considering what every other conference was doing at the time. But that didn't mean that I was still completely shocked and terribly disappointed at hearing that. And the first week after that, I didn't really know how to navigate that. And just knowing that it would be my first fall season without actually playing volleyball, without traveling, without seeing fans at every single game, and just all the things that I love about being a college athlete here in the US taken away from me was definitely very sad.
All right. Well, look, you're going to be a junior now here this year, and you were a big contributor last year and obviously started a lot of matches in the Mountain West Conference on your way to another Mountain West Conference championship. What are some of your thoughts going into this season now that you are an upperclassman? You have so many newcomers coming into the program this year, and there's no doubt you're going to be counted on to be very, very productive this season.
I think we have an amazing team with 8 newcomers and 7 freshmen. That's definitely a big change. And lots of us juniors and seniors are going to have to step up and take those leadership places. And I'm honestly very excited for that. And I think our team is going to be extremely strong. So maybe having an off season now is going to be very productive for us, and just being in the gym together every day and working hard to win that Mountain West Championship again.
All right, final thought before we let you run here. You mentioned all the newcomers. Again, 8 newcomers, 7 of which are freshmen. What are some of your early thoughts now that you guys are on the court practicing 3 days a week? What are your early thoughts on the newcomers?
I'm really impressed. They're obviously young and need more experience playing like college volleyball, But I am very, very impressed, and I'm just happy that I'll get to play with these new girls, and it's definitely going to be a very strong team. I'm excited for the season and when we'll get to play games again.
Yep, I think I speak for all Ram fans. We're excited for the spring season when it comes around here in a few months. Sasha, keep working hard. Thank you for taking some time out of your schedule. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. Go Rams.
All right, that's Sasha Colombo, the junior from Milan, Italy. Thanks for listening to another edition of Ram Country Conversations.